So it is the Cannabis News. It's December 12th, 2017. I'm Rick Thompson. Let's talk about Michigan. You know, Michigan has a December 15th start date for accepting applications for the MMFLA program. And in advance of that date, there has been much confusion in different cities. Let's talk about a couple of them. Niles, Michigan. Now, the vote came down to a tiebreaker, but Niles is one step closer to having medical marijuana dispensaries. Ultimately, the city council approved 7 business licenses. Leaders approved those 7 applications for 2 processors, 2 dispensaries, and 3 growers. It wasn't, obviously, a unanimous decision. Councilman Dan Vanden Heed voted no. He says he's skeptical of the idea, but Mayor Nick Shelton was the tiebreaker. And his yes vote seemed to resonate with community members. In fact, they applauded when he broke the tie. Probably not going to be much applause in Lansing this week and next week. Verge Bernero, this story is only hours old, folks. Verge Bernero, current mayor of the city of Lansing, has made an announcement. Medical marijuana shop owners have until Friday to apply for a city license that would allow them to avoid being shut down, but they won't have to close right away. He's giving them a 7-day extension. So if you're not applied by December 15th, you need to be applied by December 22nd. The Lansing State Journal article says, if dispensary owners don't submit applications by Friday's deadline, or if the application is rejected, the city will shut the dispensary down by December 22nd, the executive order states. Bernero said, Lansing has led the way with a model ordinance to facilitate the growth of a new industry that promises to bring new jobs, increase property values, and safe access to medicine for medical marijuana patients. My executive order is designed to implement the new state law and the regulatory framework it requires for the temporary operation of medical marijuana facilities and to make this transition period as smooth as possible for all stakeholders, except apparently all the people owning dispensaries that are not approved. Kalamazoo, Michigan. Kalamazoo postponed a decision on how it plans to react to new state laws governing medical marijuana facilities while it waits for the final release of the rules governing their operation. City Attorney Clyde Robinson is working on that ordinance, but it won't be ready for a vote until the first month of 2018. Now, that means Kalamazoo has not given marijuana businesses the green light. The City Commission needs to pass changes to its zoning code and its code of ordinances. Commissioners expressed relief that the state finally solidified details that were vital for municipalities to determine their ordinance rules. However, it doesn't look as if they're going to have rules prepared in time for much of the state licensing deadlines. City Attorney Robinson said, I promised that once we had the rules, we'd start in earnest, maybe making some adjustments to the draft ordinances I prepared. These are emergency rules, he said. There will probably be changes between now and next June, but at least we now have a roadmap from the state. How about all the way up in Portage? Portage, Michigan, officials are expected to decide within days whether the Portage Caregiver Center will remain in an Upper Peninsula mall and expand into a closed J.C. Penney store. That should be J.C. Poundy's. Portage Township's Board of Trustees meets on Monday, December 11th, yesterday, as it faced a December 15th deadline to opt into new state regulations for medical marijuana facilities. They have Portage Caregiver Center, opened in 2016 in the Copper Country Mall near Houghton. Houghton is in the Upper Peninsula. Ross came back before township officials in August after the local J.C. Penney outlet closed. There was a retail vacancy, and he expressed a vision to expand into that facility. He has big plans. He thinks about a 34,000 square foot store will contain 2,000 square feet as a dispensary, 24,000 square feet for cultivation, 5,000 square feet for a kitchen and extraction facility, and the rest would be a common area. He says, quote, besides the cannabis operation, we're considering opening another business inside the mall. One we would like to reopen this food stand with a new food concept not currently available in this portion of the state. Ross says he anticipates making cannabis products up to 50% more affordable to patients of the Upper Peninsula, although financial details were not available. Finally, we're going to end the news today on a not-so-happy story. Headlines from the Detroit Free Press. This also was published just today. Police claim one dead in an explosion at a Detroit legal pot facility. According to the Associated Press, authorities say one person is dead after a pressurized tank apparently exploded at a commercial building on Detroit's east side. Detroit Police Captain Mark Thornton says 2 people were at the building Monday night when one of them left to move a vehicle and then heard the explosion. Thornton said the explosion killed a person inside the building. WDIV-TV reports the building was being used for legal growing of marijuana, and the Detroit News reports that the explosion left a hole where the tank had sat. The identity of the person who died was not immediately released, and the cause of the blast is still under investigation.
That is sad. That sucks.
Wow.
And that's the news, everybody. It's December 12th, 2017. I'm Rick Thompson. Thanks for listening.